Okay, this is very exciting. This is actually show number 2 of Rick's Coffee House, aka Music and Muse, Monday Music and Muse. And I read poetry last week, and it was really fun. And my mom and my aunt and all my cousins enjoyed it, plus about 100 other people. So that's nice. That's a good start. And tonight we have a wonderful set of performers, Emily and Eric. And I'm going to let them tell you a little bit about them. But it's very funny because I used to be in a duo, as Emily knows, because Emily's a former student of mine. We played for many, many, many years. And every once in a while, our name actually was Ron and Rick, or some nights it was Rick and Ron. But I would occasionally introduce us as Rick and his backup band. And that was Ron left. That was supposed to be funny. Anyway, so
sorry, I'm not paying attention because I'm trying to share the live stream.
I don't expect you guys to laugh. It's the people who are listening.
I thought that's why we were here, though.
Yes. Well, actually, yeah, laughing is good. And because if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry.
That's right.
I think right now. And so yeah, we're going. So anyway, this is the first one. We have over 12 acts every Monday night from 6 o'clock till 6:45 or 7, or if you're on the East Coast, 9 till 9:45 or 10, right? Is that right? Yeah, that's right. That's the time thing. And the idea here is that musicians right now don't have a lot of venues to perform. So we just decided to create one. And Emily and Eric are the pioneers of that, which is awesome and wonderful. And I think what we should do is just start right off with a song. If you want to introduce the song and tell us about it, that's fine. And if you don't, that's fine. And you can just go for it, and then we'll talk a little bit afterwards, which means I'm going to make myself little and you big, but it's not going to happen very easily because this is new to me. Okay. There we
go.
Okay.
Very
Hi.
fancy.
Hi, Emily. Hi, Eric. I'm tiny.
Tiny Rick. Big Emily and
Eric. Okay.
Hi.
Emily, go for it.
All right, we will. So I think we should do quickly, right?
Yeah, let's
set up for it.
Do it.
So this is a song that I actually wrote a couple years ago, and it's gone through a bit of an evolution in terms of the approach of how I perform it. And because it started out as something that I wrote in my room with my acoustic guitar, which was all that I really had in the way of musical tools and songwriting tools at that point, other than a very cheap hand-me-down keyboard. And so it started out in that sort of intimate environment, and then developed beyond that. And I can talk about that more maybe after I play it, but you'll hear the sort of latest manifestation of this song. It's called Quickly, and I'm actually going to be putting this out as my next single in the next month approximately. So
exciting.
Yeah, this is an exciting one that's going to be out pretty soon. Remind me, which one am I on for this? 2, 1, 2, 3?
2, 1.
We have no sound people designated, so we're all helping each other. And just a little bit ago, Emily and Eric helped me to turn on my headphones, which was helpful.
I've been walking down this road that I know, peaks and valleys every other day. 3 steps forward, 2 steps back is too slow, but my feet don't know no other way. Hey, hey, I've been traveling since I can remember. High on dreams that wake me in the night. Another year rolls by, and each December I wonder, will I know if I've arrived? Oh, now time is catching up to me. I can recall a child I knew back when life seemed so out of reach. Now all she's reaching for is just a little piece, a little piece. Would you walk along this road beside me? Watch the winter leaves give way to green. I know it can be so hard to reach me, but I will give you love and everything. Oh, now time is catching up to me. I can recall a child I knew back when life seemed so out of reach. Now all she's reaching for is just a little piece. The days roll by so quickly. I've been walking down this road that I know, peaks and valleys every other day. 3 steps forward, 2 steps back is too slow, but my feet don't know no other way.
All right. We are not going to manufacture applause. That was truly beautiful.
Thank
And
you.
that's the first time I've heard Emily perform as on stage. You can see our beautiful red curtains in the background. And actually, the red curtains have a certain nostalgia for me because they kind of remind me of the red curtains at the school
Yeah.
on the stage where Emily was a student. And I first met Emily when she was in 4th grade, and everybody had to play the violin. So that meant she had to play a violin. And her dad brought her in for violin. Their little Emily was there. Very soon after that, I found out that she was way better at singing than violin. And that's
fair.
to put it, yes, that's fair. That's fair. Anyway, I heard Emily's little voice and it was so beautiful, and watched that voice grow over the years in the schools that she went to, watched her be in musicals and performances and just sing opera and just about every kind of style. And I bumped into Emily thanks to Facebook again, and we've been friends and kind of watching each other's paths. And I will say that my master's thesis professor, whatever, mentor used to say to me that your career as a teacher is evaluated by how many former students you ever connect with again. So it's really nice. It's really nice. And so, Emily, I have a question. And we've talked about this a little bit, but so being that little, I'm going to embarrass you, but being the little starlet with the beautiful, beautiful voice and an angelic voice, when you'd open your mouth and sing, people would be surprised. at how beautiful it was, and you got a lot of attention for that. And um, it's almost like getting a lot of attention for being, let's say, a redhead or a model, or and it causes objectification.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that that's a challenge, because then people have an expectation. Oh yeah, you're the little singing girl with a beautiful voice, and you have to work your way around, through, and out that. So just tell me a little bit about how that emerged, because then I didn't see you for a long, long time, and now you're an adult, you're a colleague, you're a co-member of this adult world. And so how has it emerged for you to have been that when you were little, and to still be doing it now, and go for it?
Yeah. Well, kind of perfect timing is that in the midst of talking about my development from my time as a little tiny singer, my mother just texted to let us know that our volume is a bit quiet compared to Rick's. So I don't know if you want to bump up our
In
input.
talking or singing?
I think probably just overall.
Thank you, Tracy.
So we're getting parental feedback,
My
which is
mom should be
appropriate for this
my mom should be
conversation.
checking in. My mom will be checking in any minute, I'm sure. Yeah.
We can
Okay.
just raise it on there. Okay, so we bumped it up a little bit. Hopefully it'll be okay. But you can also she also had a suggestion for you, Rick, which was a nice suggestion if you want
What
to
was
hear
that?
it.
Yeah.
Which is to mute your volume or mute
Oh,
your audio when music is going on, because apparently there's like ambient noise.
absolutely.
Okay.
Smart.
So now that we've gotten the Tracy Greenwald feedback incorporated,
Housekeeping. It's housekeeping.
It's housekeeping. It's also generally astute and well appreciated. So this question, it's interesting to be asked this question right now because, as you know, I am sort of emerging once again in this moment, in this year, this wild year that we've all been through, into an identity that feels both very new and at the same time very close to me and close to my heart, and obviously part of my childhood. So I have been a singer my entire life, but I've never put on sort of a formal identity of songwriter, musician, musical artist. My formal training actually was in acting, and that's what I went to grad school for and what I studied in college. Although I did study classical voice in college, but I never really had plans to take that into a professional career. So I think a lot of my reflection on what it was like to be a little singer girl is sort of coming up for me now as I step back into a more formal, more public, and more sort of people facing identity, and sort of claiming that not only am I a singer, but I'm also a musical artist with original music to share and aesthetic choices that I'm bringing to that music that involve my voice. And there's almost a feeling of needing to navigate the expectations that come from people that have known me a long time. Although they're the ones who love me most and know me most, I almost feel this sense of like, what does it mean to step into this singing identity now for people that have known my voice throughout my life? And are they going to like the choices that I'm making? And at the end of the day, am I being true to what I want to do creatively, and, trusting that they will feel the authenticity of that regardless? But there is a bit of baggage around that in terms of, kind of moving past the need to fulfill an expectation, which is what I learned how to do as a kid, because as you said, I wouldn't even call it objectification. I think as a kid, it felt just good to be validated for having a talent, a natural talent. And so it made me feel special, but it also made me feel a little singled out sometimes, and like it was my duty to perform. And so I think sometimes now as an adult, I still grapple a little bit with what is my duty. sounds kind of ridiculous, but and I think that for me, my journey is about really connecting to what speaks to me as the artist and what do I want to say, and making sure that the musical work that I do and the singing that I do comes from an authentic place. And that's kind of the guiding star for me now.
Nice, nice, and it's just been totally inspiring. Another question that I'm going to ask you before I ask you to do another song, and it's a hard question. So I know that you're doing coaching, life coaching and musical coaching and teaching and all kinds of things, and some seminars and group learning experiences. And probably a number of those things are going to be for younger people. And I want to know what you think about today's archetype of female performers coming into the business, because I've actually worked with a couple and had a little chance to see some of the dynamics of how that all works. What do you're emerging now and having the possibility, as far as I'm concerned, with recording, and because of the venues we have, having your music get out there and going for it. I'm really excited about that while you do everything else.
Thank you.
Because I think it's not like, go finish your degree and then you can do your music. It's like, just do it all and step out of duality. But the pressures are very intense right now. Number one, that if you want to make it, you have to be young. And two, if you want to make it, and when I'm talking about make it, like be the newest hit singer, the Grammy Award, blah, blah, blah. And you have the chance of having a career emerge when you're a mature adult, which takes you out of the realm of all of the demons that these young artists are between, 17 and 22 are facing. And I'm excited about that, because I would like to change that archetype. And I would like to be that anybody can come from any angle with their music in their evolution of life. And that I think you're absolutely right about a message, that you can carry a message in your songs. You can carry support and mentoring in who you are. So I think it's a fabulous role. I'm so excited about it. I just wanted to know what you think about the current archetype of the quote unquote up and coming female musician, female singer, songwriter, or singer.
Yeah, well, I think that just kind of widening the lens a little bit on that idea, we live in a society that overvalues youth, right? And I think we touched on that a little bit when you were telling me that part of your intention for this series is to provide a space for some intergenerational dialogue. And I think that, in this part of my life, kind of really finally stepping into a moment where I feel like I can claim my adulthood in a way that maybe I never quite got to in my 20s. It suddenly gives me a perspective on, okay, looking back to my childhood and to my young adulthood, I can also look forward in a way that I couldn't before. I can look to my elders and sort of empathize and also relate to them in new ways that I couldn't when I was younger. So I'm kind of like straddling the two worlds right now, where I can draw from the things about my youth that I still benefit from, but also, do my best to place value on not only my elders' wisdom, but also my wisdom and the experiences that have brought me to this moment, to being, a somewhat mature person. and to be able to reframe that archetype of making it and being young, and that being the ultimate definition of success. Because and it's interesting, because I've also looked at that archetype through the lens of acting as well. And for me, acting had been a bit fraught for a while, even before the pandemic started. And I was feeling a little bit like, like I hadn't worked in a while. I was supposed to do a show, and then the pandemic happened. So the last show I was supposed to do ended up getting canceled. And so I've been grappling with that identity thing about making it at the right time through acting. And so almost by stepping into a different identity with the music, it's kind of like I get to decide my own archetype, and isn't that powerful to actually be able to, like you said, embody my project and my creativity with all of those tools that my maturity affords me, and to know myself and to have a clear perspective on what I want and really just be intentional about how I go forward. So, but that's not to say that it's not sometimes challenging when you see 20-year-olds that have 30,000 Instagram followers, and it seems like they're so much farther ahead than you at the thing you want to be doing. And, we're human, and that stuff can feel discouraging. But I think,
Right.
But I think that the thing that centers you is just being able to be in the present and do your work.
Right. And I really appreciate that. One time I work in a social work kind of community environment, and there was an advertisement for a fellowship to work with some people on developing new youth programs. And when I went to interview for it, they were like, we're not really using older people for this fellowship. And it was just like such a moment for me to say, then you shouldn't advertise it as that way. And anyway, you need older people. So I think we're moving into a time when ageism is going to be in the forefront. And I love that you're going to be who you are, where you are, with the gift of wisdom. And by the way, youth. You guys have youth. From my perspective and your mom and dad's perspective and all of us. So Emily, let's have another song or two.
Yeah, absolutely.
And by the way, did I introduce Eric, or did you introduce Eric?
Oh, I don't think anyone did introduce Eric. This is my partner and also creative collaborator, Eric Mendelson. Eric, air quotes, Doc Mendelson. And he plays many instruments and is a fabulous songwriter and is also an amazing musician. And music is actually how we met. So it's kind of a fun little story. Nice.
And may I also say, am I on or did I mute myself?
You're
no,
on.
I didn't. May I also say, he's got the hair. He really has the hair.
He really has the hair. It's very long right now.
Yeah,
it's incredibly.
We should let him answer a question too, because I feel like he has deep things to say.
Okay,
about
right after the next song. Let's go for another song.
Do you want to do the famous song, because I feel like it kind of applies thematically, or do you want to wait?
Well, I feel like we should, because it's so similar.
Okay, you're right.
Arrangement-wise.
Okay, so we're gonna actually do a little cover, which is a song that I released. It was the first song that I released, and it's "I'm on Fire" by Springsteen. You may have heard of him, and it's our little kind of arrangement of the song. So we'll go ahead and do that.
Can you pass me the little mini pick?
Yeah. Give us one moment while we.
That's great. And so
set up here.
While they're getting set up, I should be talking away because that's my time to talk. And so you'll see at the bottom it says at Emily Jean Brown, and then it says Venmo at Emily-JG Brown. The first one is to contact her, because now in the age of virtual communication, we can have our mentors and teachers anywhere in the country or the world. And that would be fantastic for you to see what she has to offer and to go to her website. And the second one is for tips and gratuities. So musicians are always willing to accept tips and gratuities. And I thought a neat way to do it is have them just have their Venmo account or their PayPal or whatever. So that's Emily's Venmo account. And you can take that on for what you'd like to take it on for.
Thanks, Rick. And my website, if people want to find out more about anything, is emilyjeanbrown.com. So just my name, as you see it there. And that's also my Instagram handle. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do I'm on Fire, and is it 1-1? 2-2. Oh, I can't remember these things. Thank you. Yep.
Just one click.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna take it down a notch here.
Oh yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go and leave you all alone? I got a bad desire. Oh, I'm on fire. Tell me now, baby, is he good to you? Can he do to you the things that I do? I can take you higher. Oh, I'm Sometimes it's like someone took a knife, baby, edgy and dull, and cut a 6-inch valley through the middle of my soul. At night I wake up with the sheets soaking wet and a freight train running through the middle of my head. Only you can cool my desire. Sometimes it's like someone took a knife, baby, edgy and dull, and cut a 6-inch valley, middle of my soul. At night I wake up with the sheets soaking wet and a freight train running through the middle of my head. Only you can cool my desire. Oh,
Thank you so much. And great arrangement. And actually, that low note, Emily, is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
Oh my
just low
God.
enough that I can't quite hit it. So it's
But is there?
right on the edge.
I love that you did it. It's kind of like me doing my
Yeah.
high note.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that was that
but
we yeah, I love using my low range actually. It really connects me to a different kind of part of my body. So I love going down into that, and really to do that I have to just open up and just allow it to be really breathy and you know, it's fun.
All right. So you asked me, am I on? Yeah. Are you asked? As you can see, I'm very compliant about the muting the mic. I take input seriously, but not personally. As long as it's nice, and that was nice. So default to nice, I'm good.
Tracy
all right.
Greenwald is always nice.
She is. Eric.
Yes.
I'm gonna mess with you a little bit.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna give you a criterion to pick the next song.
Oh wow. Okay.
and basically I'm a producer,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna either sign Emily and you two, or I'm not,
Oh
based
wow.
on this song. And it has to be one of the songs you brought tonight. So Eric, you're gonna pick the song and you're gonna tell me why. You're gonna tell Emily why you picked the song, so you can talk directly to her and tell and pick that song. Okay, it's just
This is actually great because Eric is kind of like my producer right now.
perfect.
So it's perfect. Yeah.
Okay, and the contract is
Pressure's on.
the contract is I'm sending the contract to you through the ether. So
Wow.
this is serious.
Exciting. This is
Yeah,
very exciting.
this is called Sign You Tonight. It's a new program. If you sing the right song, you get signed and you get a contract and all that stuff.
It sounds like my nightmares.
It all comes down to this. Don't screw
Okay.
it up, kid.
Okay, are you ready? Eric, the pressure's on you.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm torn between two songs. There's part of me when I'll tell you why. There's one song that we play that's another cover that I feel like I know Emily just loves to sing and sits so deliciously in her voice. So I think she knows what I'm talking about. There's that one, which I think is a great showcase of Emily's voice. And then I'm inclined to say that we should do an original song. And that one is one that I am such a fan of, that I think is just so heartbreaking lyrically. And so I think we're going to do that one.
You know what? I'm going to change the rules right now because I can.
Okay.
It's your show. You're the host.
It's my show, and I'll cry if I want to. I'll tell you what. You can do two.
We get to do two?
Yeah, two together.
Back to back.
But
the trick is we have to both play the opposite song at the same time.
right now, this is going to be a zinger. You have to link them together. You have to, if you're on stage and you're doing these two songs, you have to link whatever one you do first. You have to segue a nice little pattern.
Well, that's going to be hilarious because we have a completely different setup for both. But
okay, great.
You know
let's take the challenge.
I think we can take the challenge.
Okay.
I'll sit there. I'll wear the guitar.
Yeah. And then we'll switch.
Well, you sit here.
You'll have to play my guitar, I guess.
I think this is a really good idea for one of those like Discover the Star or Singers Go to Hollywood or whatever those programs are, that you come on and you and you get to play two songs, one cover and one original. And if the producers, there's a panel of 5 producers, and if the majority of them go thumbs up, then you get the contract. And wouldn't that be a good TV kind of, or I guess what they don't call it TV anymore, streaming, whatever, video. So let me also tell people who are listening, as I remind you to, this is like a telethon. They used to have these things called telethon. You call in donations. So go to that Venmo and let Emily and Eric eat tomorrow.
Please. Please, sir.
And meanwhile, I want to say that this is our first, really the first show. So we're working on sound, and we're working on, connectivity and all that kind of thing. So once we become that big show, what did I call it? Hollywood? What did I call it? Singer Goes to Hollywood?
Yeah,
Singers Go to Hollywood. Then we'll have a budget, but right now we don't have much of a budget. So it's Singers Go to Ricky's little studio.
Singers go to their living room.
Yes.
Right.
Which is where we hang out most of the time, and it's
right. I love your curtains.
Thank you.
I really like those curtains.
Wow.
But just for fun.
We could give you a tour of all of our living room memorabilia at some point.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
We have some fun items in here.
All right, and you know what? Just to help you on this next song, I'm going to change the background. Okay.
A different curtain.
Just to show that I can
Brighten
do
it
that.
up. Yeah, I love that. Special
Good.
effects. Okay, so I assume we're starting.
Also, I'm going to be the same size for 1 second. Now I'm going back down.
Okay.
Okay. But it blocked out Emily.
Just before we start, is this the right key for the second song? Okay, good. Okay, so why don't you mute me, and then I'll unmute myself. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're gonna do a cover song again. This is "Dimming of the Day." It's a song by Richard and Linda Thompson, and we are covering it with inspiration from the interpretation by Bonnie Raitt, who we both love very much.
That's right.
Hey. Ooh.
This is your big career chance. You won't need Venmo anymore.
This old house is falling down around my ears. I'm drowning in a river of my tears. When all my will is gone, you hold me sway. I need you at the dimming of the day. You hold me like the moon pulls on the tide. You know just where I keep my better side. What days have come to keep us far apart? A broken promise or a broken heart. Now all the bonny birds have wheeled away. I need you at the dimming of the day. Come the night, you're only what I want. Come the night, you could be my confidant. I see you in the street and in company. Why don't you come and ease your mind with me? I'm living for the night we steal away. I need you at the dimming of the day. I need you at the dimming of the day. some song in my head, liquor on my breath. I don't wanna go home, not yet. I might destroy something. I wish you knew me better than you do. I'd do anything for you. I'm willing to be bad news just to get your attention. It's dangerous when I can see right through you. Not proud, too proud to break out from it. Not proud, too proud to rise above it. Not proud to admit I kinda love it. Getting in trouble so I don't have to figure it out. But I'm not proud. Take a picture with your phone, but keep it in your mind. 'Cause this shit don't last forever, and it's hard to find. Well, they say hindsight's 20/20, babe, but I swear I'm going blind. So I keep crashing into strangers who are kind to me, and I treat them like old friends and family. But it's getting pretty lonely out here on Easy Street. Looks like time and all my pride might get the best of me. Not proud, too proud to break out from it. Not proud, too proud to rise above it. Not proud to admit I kinda love it. So I'm getting in trouble so I don't have to figure it out. But I'm not proud. No, I'm not proud.
Thank you, both of you. I have consulted with our ultimate judge, which is a little hedgehog. I don't know if you can see him.
Ooh, I love being judged by small
Can you see him?
echinos. What are those called? What are those called?
It's a hedgehog, I think. And he brought a little gift with him that has the results. Like, we don't do an envelope.
I have to say this is very Waldorfian of you.
And so I'm going to open the little gift box.
Okay.
See, it has ribbon on it and everything. Sorry, I was having trouble getting in the screen. All right, let me make me a little bigger here for a second, just so I can feel part of this
Yes.
whole thing. Okay. And oh, on our show, the results are written on the back of a guitar pick.
Very good.
And it says 5-0.
We
What does that mean?
we get it.
That means
We
5 of the judges said yes, and none of them said no.
Wow.
And we're really going to try to manifest that because during that song, I went away. That was really nice. And that's what people want to do with songs. Sometimes they want to go inward, and sometimes they kind of want to go away. And it was just very pretty and very well done and lovely and unique. And you never know, but I think good things can happen. And I really wish really wish I was that guy. Now, that being said, on one of the feeds, came in backwards, and you couldn't see Eric at all. So, but 2 of the feeds you could see Eric, but it was just funny because it looked kind of like Emily was playing all the instruments. But in 2 feeds we could see Eric. So
That's cool.
yeah, so we're going to get that all together as far as the filming. Now, I just want to say, if I do this, I get all you guys, so I could give you more space. I know it seems like I'm learning on the fly, and I am, because I can, because this isn't my job. I have no boss, and just I get to do what I do. Anyway, wow. So another question. What do you think about I'm now thinking about your generation and your generation. From our perspective is, of course, a young generation, and from a 17-year-old's perspective, it's not so young generation. Like, you guys have Facebook, which is like, and so when I tell students, I used to do as a gift at the end of the year for my seniors graduating, that I would become a friend of theirs, but that didn't work. So now they've set up an Instagram account, which I don't know how to use, but it keeps telling me that I'm following people and people are following me. So I'm going to have to get educated on that for sure. But my question is, what do you think about? I believe that we are entering an era which has been, one of the silver linings of the pandemic, if there can be a silver lining, is that we move away from, we move outside the box, and that it is possible to have multiple careers, and that high school, and I don't know if it was like this when you guys were going to high school, but high school has this phenomena of the parents would like their kids to succeed and learn. That's what we hope for. But what's actually happening, what they hear, is that we want them to achieve and perform. So what kind of ideas do you have about reshaping the norm coming out of this pandemic, in which kids didn't get to go to the college they want, and their plans changed, and they didn't get to go to another country, and all kinds of things are changing, and everybody's been thrown to make changes, and even adults are considering career changes because the career they were doing, may or may not come back. So we're in a paradigm shift. And do you have any thoughts for young people your age and younger about how to have the courage to embrace? Because it seems like you have more than one passion. So just talk a little bit about that.
It's a really complicated question because so much plays into it for me. I mean, I was empowered to pursue a creative path as a young person, and I come from a background of immense privilege. So being a person who always knew that they had a fallback in terms of financial support if I needed it, being a person in a white body and being encouraged to be loud and take up space and take risks personally, and not ever being afraid that that would, you know, cause me any kind of physical harm, are all things that play into my ability, I think, now to be as flexible and as like multi-interested as I am. From my identity as an artist and a freelancer who is sort of trying to navigate a professional life and a professional path outside of the box, as you say, sort of outside of any kind of laid out trajectory. I always talk about, like, you know, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer and you get into the right schools and you get the degrees and you pass the bar and you know, do your residency, then you can be that. But you have to pass all the marks and then you can be that. With acting or with music or with, you know, with these kinds of things, there's just a different kind of, it's not that those things are harder or easier. It's just that there's a different kind of gatekeeping, and it's something that you identify with very closely to who you are as a person. It's so vocational that it can be tough to create boundaries around feeling like when professional aspirations aren't developing in the way that you'd like them to, that's a reflection on you as a person, and that's a personal failure. So I think for people, for young people, or for anyone who is seeking to allow themselves to expand beyond the prescribed definition of success as it has been taught to us socially, culturally in the Western world, especially in the US, in our, you know, capitalistic society, I think that the most important thing is to, first of all, have a practice of self-compassion and to be able to find practices that fortify your spirit and keep you healthy and keep you concentrated on what really matters to you. Because when you are trying to pursue a lot of different things, it can feel like you're getting pulled in a lot of different directions. And if you don't have that sturdy foundation, it can just pull you apart, I think. And it just can be really overwhelming. So I think that the foundation is for being able to do that and being able to push the boundaries and the limits is finding security in yourself and being able to know where your center is, whatever that means to you, whether that has to do with, you know, a personal meditation practice or, you know, a mentorship or whatever it is that keeps you grounded. I don't know if that answers your question, but that's what came up for me. Oh, we can't hear you.
Okay. I know that at this time, you know, Emily, from the Waldorf tradition, that one of the things is we don't want to wake up young people too quickly. We want them to get a chance to grow and embrace new things and be idealistic. And right now, our youngest people are woken up to death and illness and the possibility of mortality at a time when they ordinarily wouldn't be woken up to it. And my high school students were telling me that that's what's different about, if you look back at the last sort of generation and their peak experience having been 9/11, unless you were in New York, you saw it, you heard about it, but you weren't there.
Yeah.
The pandemic, these guys are saying, we're here and it's really impacting us. It's like, you know, I mean, I know these things seem trivial, but proms and graduations and passages, like graduation is the only passage we have in American culture.
Right.
You know, so it's hard, and I hope that anybody who's watching this or who will watch this, and I may show it to some of my students, will be inspired to think outside the box and to be idealistic. I think young people are supposed to be idealistic, which means you don't have to just say, you know, well, I could never do that, because you can do that. And people do that all the time. And so I love that your trajectory has kept you committed to creativity and to love of music, which of course is an international language.
Mm-hmm.
And that being said, I would love to hear another song.
Fantastic. What else do we have?
Do you have any other songs?
Begin?
We have Begin. We have the Hollywood song.
Let's do Begin.
And let me.
Is this going to be our last song
You
section?
could do two. We have time for two more songs.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I want to say also, I just want to tell anybody who's listening that you are welcome to contact Emily and Eric, and you're also welcome to fill their Venmo account with gratuities, because that does make a difference. And I think one of the hardest things now, by the way, is that you can't make a lot of money selling songs. It's exciting to sell songs, and it's wonderful and happening, but it's not like people go out and buy albums and CDs. They're streaming, and you can have millions and millions and millions of streams and not make a month's income. So we have to revive performance, and we have to support performance, and whatever you have in your heart to leave people as we go through and hear different performers, you're welcome to do that. Some will and some won't. But anyway, let's hear two songs. Let's go with two songs. We'll do a little closing benediction, and then yeah.
And I before we do this, one other thing I want to say is that if you aren't able to give financially to artists, it really does make a difference if you can like and share and follow everything that we do online, because even though we don't necessarily make money from that, the energy and the community and the numbers, the optics of how many people are sharing and liking, unfortunately, is kind of the way it works in terms of spreading the word to more people who may not have heard about us or who don't know us personally. So every time you like an Instagram post or share something or comment or follow us on Spotify, it really helps just push that algorithm so that people who wouldn't have normally discovered us can see us, and so that we're visible online. And that's a really appreciated thing that people can do. So we'll play a couple more songs, and then I do have a little special announcement that I want to make before we finish up. So don't.
You've got all the time. There's really no ending on this. I thought it might be 45 minutes, but what the heck? It's getting late. By the way, these two wonderful musicians who have beautiful harmony, by the way, and I think harmony heals the world.
Mm.
And what's really cool about harmony is that, and about music, is that if you play music or you write music or you perform music, you know the secret. And if you listen to music, you don't always know the secret. So I'm going to tell you the secret. And what we love is not the notes, but the space in between the notes.
Mm-hmm.
And
I talk about that with speaking too, is that the power of silence and the power of the rest.
Absolutely. And actually a rest is a note, isn't it?
It sure is. I will never forget that.
Okay. And then I want to say one more thing, which is that at the end, I'm going to say hi to people who have made comments. So if you want to be noticed and acknowledged and seen, then make a comment. Okay. And we'll say hi to you at the end, because we know there's more than 4 people here. Okay. And if that's all there is, what I didn't finish my sentence, these guys are in New York. So it's late.
Oh,
it's
yeah. What time is it?
Almost 10, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's okay.
That's all right.
We're having a great time.
Okay.
Oh, man.
New York looks just like any other place in your living room.
That's true.
Yep. Did you press the buttons?
Okay, here we go.
Standing. Okay. Well, this is kind of a good song thematically for what we were just talking about in terms of branching out, going outside the norm, And this song is called Begin. This is the second single that I released on Spotify. And it's also on my Bandcamp. If you want to buy the song, you can actually buy it off Bandcamp. And it's about listening to your intuition and your inner teacher and deciding to take the leap towards something that you feel is right, even if you aren't quite sure how to do it, but just deciding to begin anyway. So we'll do this one.
Really, really nice. I would say in the style of Crosby, Stills, and Nash. It reminded me of one of their really beautiful ballads, which were often written by Graham Nash and David Crosby.
These two songs are probably the most different feeling of all the songs that we played.
Okay.
So we'll have a nice little dynamic shift. Whoa, I almost
I like that. That's important.
This song is actually not I wouldn't consider this song done. So this is like a very exciting moment where we're sharing a very fun little ditty that is not quite done.
Okay, it's in progress.
But it will seem done, but it's not.
I'm a fan.
We have a lot of synthesizers in this apartment. They belong to him. But it's very fun experimenting with them. So we're going for the synth and the drum machine vibe for this last one.
Okay.
So
Emily,
I
can
hope
you hear me?
enjoy it.
Can you
This
hear me?
song also, you may catch some themes in here that are also appropriate to things we've been talking about tonight, such as succeeding, becoming famous, wanting to have a holistic life with different things in it. So there you go. It doesn't have a title.
Emily, can you hear me at this time?
It's a little tangled.
Why am I not broadcasting?
I think it's 21, right?
Hello?
Yeah. All right.
Here we go.
Did we do 132?
I already turned it down.
All right, here we go. 1, 2.
Missy wanted fame, she wore lipstick on the train, and she wrote it all over town. She had 1,000 photographs, she knew how to make them laugh, and at night when the sun went down, yeah, she sang her little heart out in nightclubs and open mic dives. Yeah, she sang her little heart out, it was the only thing keeping her alive. She had a dream of who she was meant to be. She knew she'd get there eventually. People called her crazy, 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 cause she still wants to have a baby. Ooh, and she's not so young and dumb. But you know, time flies when you're having too much fun. Missy met a man and they made a 5-year plan, pinching pennies for the bills. She gave up being wild for the things that made her smile. It's a different kind of thrill. And she sang her little heart out while she signed the rent checks. Yeah, she sang her little heart out, but you can't live on self-respect. She had a dream of who she was meant to be. She knew she'd get there eventually. People called her crazy, 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 cause she still wants to have a baby. Ooh, ooh, and she's not so young and dumb. Will it ever be enough? You know, time flies when you're having too much fun. Ooh, Missy met a man and they made a 5-year plan, yeah. She gave up being wild for the things that made her smile, yeah, yeah. And people called her crazy, 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 cause she still wants to have a baby. Oh, ooh, ooh, and she's not so young and dumb. Will it ever be enough? You know, time flies when you're having too much fun. Crazy, crazy. Ooh,
That was our unpracticed ending. It was pretty good. I thought we worked it out.
I don't think you can hear me.
Now we
Emily.
can hear you. Hi.
Okay, good. Okay. I felt so muted. I felt so silent.
Oh, we couldn't hear you until we turned our mixer doesn't allow us to hear you
Oh,
until we press the
okay.
button.
Because I was trying to figure out what was going on. So, yes, that's your hit.
Yeah, that's our hit. That's our pop hit.
Work on that. It has a little tiny itsy bitsy feeling of Circles by what's his name? I really like that song.
Circles by
Post Malone.
Post Malone. Oh wow,
Yeah.
You're so hip.
Yeah. I know.
I don't even know Post Malone. I don't even know.
I listen. I do. I listen to those stations and I actually like it.
Cool.
So
well, you're also a Taylor Swift fan, as you revealed to me.
I am. Or a Taylor Swift fan.
My sister will appreciate. My sister likes Taylor Swift.
Well, actually, your one song before this did sound a little bit like a Taylor Swift song from her 1989 album.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, I really do know my artists. Okay, so I'm going to say hi to some people.
Great.
Shirley, that's my Aunt Shirley. And hello, Shirley. And hello, Kevin, if you're still there. I know Kevin goes to bed early. Svetlana, good to see you. Diana, my sister. Martha, all kinds of comments. Martha wants to know where you guys live in New York.
We live in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
Okay.
And we moved in here in August, so this has been our home for the past 7 months, and we love it.
Nice. And my mom just popped in, so she might have something to say. Mom says hi, love. And so it's great to see you guys. I wanted to also say that if you are listening, whoever you are, because not everyone who's listening is in the chat, that you would, how shall I say it? I'm going to make it easy. Email me your email address. So just email me and tell me you liked this show, and then you'll be on my email list so I can let you know about all the other shows and all the other performances. And my email
also
is
people. Sorry, go ahead, Ricki.
That's right. My email is so easy. It's just my last name, Konkoff, Concoff. That's like on and off with C's before it. Konkoff at yahoo.com. Send me your email addresses. I'll put that, I'll make that in the, the overlay, as soon as I learn how to do overlays. All right, go, Emily.
I was just going to say, also, if people are watching on Facebook, they can just like or make sure they follow your Facebook page, and then they'll always get notified when you go live.
Right. Or even just for the fun of it, they could send me a postcard.
Or they could send you a postcard. Yeah.
A self-addressed
or a letter.
A self-addressed stamped envelope. SAS. Is that SAD? Anyway, did you get to make the announcement you were going to make?
No,
okay.
I did want to make it, although I don't know who's still here, but I'll just make it. I am going to, if you enjoyed the music tonight, this is my birthday month. March. I'm a Pisces.
Happy birthday. What date?
Thank you. The 12th, which is only 11 days from now.
And the day after my wife.
Oh, wow. Very good. I love
Heather.
That. Love Pisces.
Yes.
And I'm going to be doing a live stream concert on my birthday. And I have not yet announced this yet, but if you follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, you will see information about that, and I would love it if you would come hang out with me on my birthday and check out the show. And the other exciting thing is that in convergence with that show, I will be launching a Patreon page, which is a platform that provides sort of behind the scenes, behind the creative process content to fans and supporters. Given that I'm also a teacher and a coach, it will be sort of like a community membership that involves not only behind the scenes creative content, but also free monthly workshops and other educational tools for folks who decide they'd like to join for a monthly contribution of as low as $3 a month. So come to the concert, learn about that, and support an independent artist if you like it, if you enjoy it.
And if you would like me to also stream your birthday, you'll let me know, because that would be kind of cool.
Amazing. Yeah,
just
fun.
Tell me. And so another important reason to feed that Venmo account that you see at the bottom, my good friend Martha just said I should remind everybody to pass the hat, which is what we're doing right now. Because apparently Eric is very mild mannered and an awesome guy. I'm looking forward to getting to know you and playing some music with you. Apparently he needs a haircut. He thinks he needs a haircut. So if he is that true, Eric?
I mean, it depends on the day, but right now I'm looking at myself in the reflection. I'm thinking, wow, this is pretty luscious.
So
it's really there.
So this whole thing with virtual performing and virtual communication has one of two possibilities, and they're opposite. One is it can make us be malignant narcissists because we're looking at ourselves all the time, or it can give us low self-esteem because we're looking at ourselves, and from some angles, I remind myself of Papa Smurf, and I don't know if that's something I want to do or not. But so a little bit about next week and the week after. And then do you have one final song you want to do, or do you want to?
We actually do have one more if you would be willing to.
All right, absolutely. So I'm gonna make
you talk first, and we'll go.
Okay.
We'll finish it out.
So next week, I have a dear friend who took my place in teaching strings at the school I taught at. He's an amazing violist, and his name is Alex and Volants, of Latvian descent. And he is married to a splendid violinist from China named Ting Ting. Alex and Ting Ting are some of our favorite people with their adorable little children, Nathan and Tiana. Anyway, next week, Alex and Ting Ting are going to play some really awesome duets on violin and viola. So that'll be quite a different kind of performance. Awesome. The week after that, a young man who was in my class a number of years ago named Daniel Rosenthal, who's in his first year of medical school in New York, is an incredible magician. I'm not sure we're going to put him on, but we'll put him on sometime third or fourth week. There's all kinds of musicians coming, males, females, everybody, and everything in between. So, which is important. So I'm going to say, Emily and Eric, thank you. And this has been really special for me because it's kind of like a reunion, since I haven't really had much connection like this with you, Emily, in a long time, and it's wonderful, and I appreciate your talent, and I wish you all the best luck. And if you want to come on again, I'd love to have you come on again. And if you have any other musician friends who want a chance to have a venue to perform, they can come right here.
I appreciate that. And I just appreciate the kind of space that you create with intention and with thoughtfulness and with anti-perfectionism. I appreciate it.
Right, because then we don't, we can love our mistakes.
Yes.
We just have to love our mistakes and love ourselves, and not be. Sometimes I'm my worst boss. Like I'm
I definitely am.
way meaner to me than I would be to any employee ever in the universe. Right. So let's work on that. And
cheers to that.
Let's have your final song, and then we're going to sign off.
All right. This is a song called Late Bloomer that Eric and I wrote together.
I love that. That's called collaboration.
It is, yes. We like to collaborate.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
The more, the better.
All right, here we go.
By the way, can I tell you one more thing?
Yes.
Because Emily also used to come to one of my Jewish study classes. This is a really cool thing. So the word love in Hebrew is ahava. Ahava. It's almost an out breathing. And it grew from from an Aramaic word, which was before Hebrew, which meant I give. So the original word, the etymology of the word I love, that goes back to Aramaic, which is one step further than Phoenician, is I give.
I love that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And so much of it has become I take in this world. So remember, give.
Yeah. And we actually receive so much when we give.
Absolutely.
And we open that channel.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will now give you another song, and we hope that you receive it. And we are grateful for your presence here, whoever you may be. Are the guitars muted? My guitar's muted. Okay, here we go.
Morning glory, greet the sun. I always knew you were the one. In the evening, curl and shine, petals closing made me wonder why. But I should have guessed it, knew I couldn't stress it, always scared to make you turn away. Now I know the reason we had to find our season just in time for me to hear you say, well, I'm a late bloomer, last blossom on the vine. And I heard a rumor that you like to take your time. Couldn't have happened any sooner. Wait for me, I'll wait for you. And I'll stick around just to watch you bloom.
I've been busy building a wall, too afraid to let this fortress fall. Say I'm lonely, but it's hard to let you see who I really am when the walls come down on me. Oh, I'm a late bloomer, last blossom on the vine. I heard a rumor that you like to take your time. Couldn't have happened any sooner. Wait for me, I'll wait for you. I'll stick around
While you figure it out,
just to watch you bloom. Staying distant, keeping strong. I know this feeling can't be wrong. And when you come to find me, I'll be waiting. Being with you feels like home. I'm scared 'cause you're the only one. So tell me now, you know we're gonna make it.
'cause I know you're a late bloomer, last blossom on the vine. And I've been spreading rumors that I'm gonna make you mine. Couldn't have happened any sooner. Wait for me, I'll wait for you. And I'll stick around while you figure it out,
just to watch you bloom.
just to watch you
Okay, so I was rocking out to that one.
I saw you. That was fun.
This is so, I think I found my new next. I think I found my new next because this is going to be really fun. And eventually we're going to have lots and lots and lots and lots of followers.
Mhm.
And people are going to think this is a really cool thing and enjoy it and be happy. And here's
Yay.
here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say to close tonight. First of all, thank you, Emily and Eric. Wonderful quality, excellent music. I'm so glad we got to connect. Thank you for saying yes, and thank you for coming on and preparing for this.
It was a joy.
And
It was.
good. And I'll be talking to you guys more
Yeah.
about
look
all
forward
kinds
to
of
it.
things. And next time I want you to talk about, I'm going to ask you guys some technical questions because I discovered auto-tune today. And it's like Nirvana. It's like wow. So I want to talk to you about that, which of course, Emily, you don't have to use you guys probably don't use auto-tune, but
Actually, we do.
you do.
Auto-tune.
Not auto-tune, but what
Similar.
people think of as auto-tune.
Right.
Pretty much most professional recordings you hear probably use some amount of tuning adjustment. It's very advanced now, and it's very subtle, and it just helps it feel more finished. So
Yeah.
what
Well,
people think of as auto-tune is a little bit
right.
different than what it actually is. Well,
Someone who's on
there's
here,
something called auto-tune, right? That's like
someone who's on here tonight, Kevin Simmons, who's made 2 little comments, was Emily's teacher in drama and music, and
hi, Kevin.
and what Emily doesn't know is he's also was my teacher for a couple of years of voice lessons. And what Kevin has done, although I know I sound hoarse tonight because I've got something going on, which fortunately is not a serious thing, but my voice is a little hoarse. Anyway, allergies, whatever. Kevin taught me for 2 years how to keep my voice in my senior years, which is a really amazing thing. So many people lose their voice or have their voices decay as they get older. And Kevin has taught me a lot about singing. So I'm grateful for that. And I'm glad to know everyone uses auto-tune because I'll be using it.
Now, don't go crazy with it. Now,
I know. Then I'll sound like Drake or those guys that have their voices
Yes,
all.
you will definitely sound like Drake. That is what will happen.
And by the way, if anybody wants to hear, since I'm going to get political for a second, and then I'm going to go, since Trump is still trumpeting, I have a song on my YouTube channel, Rick Honkoff. You're welcome to visit there, and it's called Static, and it's about what Trump does, and it is my own version of a geriatric rap song, blended with a rap song that another fellow did who's 22. So take a listen to it. This is what I'm going to leave you with tonight. It's the same thing that I have been leaving a lot of my broadcasts with, which is that your saving grace in life is your pillow. And when your head hits your pillow, all the problems go away. And all you have is the bliss of sleeping and the release of letting everything that went well and everything that didn't go well go away while you slumber. And that dwelling on the past promotes depression, and worrying about the future promotes anxiety. So the best place is right now. And thank you for creating a great right now for me tonight. And my daughter Anya just came on, and my niece Lisa just came on.
Aww.
Every week, you guys, every week we're going to do this.
This will be up right after it's over. People can.
It's absolutely. I'm going to share it right away.
Great.
And if you can share it on all of your Facebooks, I'm going to do that definitely. Yeah, I realized that as I was watching it on Facebook and YouTube, I was using bandwidth that was not helping the broadcast. So I realized that I shouldn't watch it as I go. Anyway, we'll have a virtual coffee dessert sometime very soon. Emily and Eric, blessings to you. And we will, you guys will be on again for sure.
Yay. We look forward to it very much. Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much. We had a great time.
And I think when we do the dessert, we should actually all bring our own dessert.
Absolutely.
Throughout the time.
In front of each other.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And we'll have separate desserts, different types
Right.
of dessert.
Right.
Yeah.
And gluten-free or whatever. Everybody sugar-free. Yeah. Okay.
My
All right,
sister
good night.
just texted me and said that was so good. So Laura Brown is in the house and sharing her love.
Awesome. Okay. Good night, everybody.